Hello students, welcome to Mathematics Year 6, Numbers and Operations. In today's lesson, Quest 6, we will look into converting fractions of a million to a whole number. Okay, so let's start. Now, before we can convert fractions of a million to a whole number, we need to have some sort of basic understanding of fractions and millions. So over here, I have drawn a picture like a bar that shows you the amount of 1 million. Okay, so assuming this whole yellow bar is worth a million, now when I have this 1 million, this whole bar divided into two parts, that means I will have a fraction of half, and the other side will also carry the fraction of half. Now what happens when I have 1 million and divide into two parts? I could do a simple division, okay, a long division, and I will end up with the answer 500,000. So automatically half of a million is 500,000. Half of a million is 500,000. This is a basic conversion that should be memorized. Okay, if you can't understand these diagrams, these fractional diagrams, of course, the diagrams are meant to help you understand. However, this knowledge should go into permanent memory. So anytime someone asks, what is half a million? 500,000. You see that? Okay. So now let's clear this. What about if I had the same 1 million? However, instead of dividing it into two parts like this is half and this is in the other half, I choose to divide that half further. So that is when I will get what is known in fraction as quarters. 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, and 4 quarters. 4 over 4. The whole thing is 4 over 4. So now what happens? Earlier, I knew that half a million, if I had half a million, it was worth 500,000. So if I took that 500,000 and divide it further into two parts, can you see this 500,000 is getting divided into two parts? And this 500,000 is into another two more parts. In other words, your 1 million is being divided into 4 equal parts. Well, we can do the standard long division, okay? So you could take, say for example, 1 million, okay, and divide it into 4 equal parts. Okay, work out. If you work out, okay, let's work out. All right, so what is the answer here? 10 divided by 4 would be 2. And over here, you'll get an 8. 10 minus 8 would be 2. You bring down your 0. 20 divided by 4 would be 5. 4 times 5 would be 20 minus 0. So the rest are all zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0. So put in the place values 0, 0, 0, 0. This can be completed like this. Okay. So when you have 1 million and you divide into 4 parts, each part is going to be 250,000. So quarter million is 250,000. This is another 250,000. But 2 quarters would be how much then? So 250 plus 250, that's the same as 500,000. Now over here, you can also understand or connect this as half. 2 over 4 when you simplify is half. So isn't half the same as 500,000? So done. How about 3/4 million? So it's 250,000, another 250,000, another 250,000. In other words, if you took 250,000 and times 3, you would get 3/4 million, and that would be 750,000. Now, what about 4/4, the whole? Yes, it would come back to the whole 1 million. All right? So this is how you can understand fractions of a million. However, there are a couple of other fractions that you will need to know. Okay? So let's move on to the next slide, in which here we have 1 million divided into, now earlier we saw divided into 2 parts and then 4 parts, but now this 1 million is divided into 5 parts. Okay, and if you do the standard written method, you will end up every part being worth 200,000. 200,000, 400,000, 600,000, 800,000, 1 million. So the fraction that's represented here is 1/5. So 1/5 of a million is 200,000. 2/5 of a million is 400,000. 3/5 of a million is 600,000. Now, of course, if you understand the fraction strips, this is almost like a drawing in your head that you'll need to remember when you see this question 3/5 million next. What about 4/5 million? That's 800,000, and 5/5 million, that would be the full, again, back to 1 million. Anything that's 5/5, 2/2, 3/3, it's one whole. It's one whole. It completes the fraction. That is why it gets back to the original value. Now, if at all we divided this into 5 parts and every part was 200,000, what if we had to now divide into 10 parts? Look at this. Look at this 1 million down here. And you see the number of parts that's been divided into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So which means instead of 5 parts, every part here is now again divided into 2 equal parts. Yes, you got that right. The value here is 100,000. And the fraction is 1/10. Here, 2/10 is 200,000. But remember, 2/10 is the same as 1/5, as you can see right above here. This is 1/5. 2/10 is the same as 1/5. They are called equivalent fractions. Now you have 3/10, which is 300,000. 4/10, which is the same as 2/5. The value is 400,000. Of course, 5/10 is the same as half. And half means 500,000. 6/10 is the same as 3/5, giving you 600,000. 7/10 exists by itself. You can't simplify this, so this is 700,000. 8/10 can be simplified to 4/5, which is 800,000. 9/10 again exists alone independently, and that's 900,000. 10/10, 1 million. And we are done. Understand the million as being broken up into parts. Okay, so clear the drawing and let's move into the next slide, in which one of the most difficult fractions to work with when it comes to a million would be when you have a million that's been divided into 8 parts. Okay, now if you look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, 8 is kind of a special number. You will get an answer here. However, for a start, work out the standard written method. Take 1 million and divide it into 8 parts. What do you get as your answer? Let's do this. 10 divided by 8, 1. 1 times 8, 8. So you will have a remainder of 2 here. Bring down your 0. Now you have 20 divided by 8. How many 8s can go into a 20? And you'll have 2 with a 16 as your answer. So you'll still have a remainder of 4 here. Bring down your 0. Continue the division. 40 divided by 8. And that's exactly a 5. So here again, you'll have a 40 with no remainder now onwards. So all these 3 zeros at the back will occupy the 3 place values, which means if you had 1 million and you had to divide it with 8 of your children, maybe, every child is going to get 125,000. Okay? And this is 1 over 8. So when you see a question next time, 1 over 8 million, you should, if you could remember this answer, put into memory, then it becomes pretty easy. It's 125,000. Okay? 2 over 8 is the same as 1 over 4. And that we have learned earlier, it's 250,000. Actually, 125,000 and another 125,000. If you keep on adding, you'll get 2 over 8. And you have add another 125,000, you will get 3 over 8 million. 4 over 8 would be the same as half. So that is 500,000. Now let's calculate 3 over 8 here. 3 over 8 million is how much? So I'm going to erase this part to just help to show you how we can do a multiplication. So if I wanted to calculate what is 3 over 8 million, I could take 125,000, which is 1 over 8 million, and times with 3. I can do a simple multiplication like this and get my answer. Now, how can I do this, without doing a standard written method? And can I do this mentally? Yes, you can. Very simple. Let me ask you, what is 100,000 times 3? You will get 300,000. Good. What is 20,000 times 3? You see the next digit? The digit value is 20,000. What is 20,000 times 3? 60,000. Okay. Finally, what is 5,000 times 3? It's 15,000. So add all these up. What is 300,000 plus 60,000 plus 15,000? It's 375,000. You can do a direct multiplication using standard written method or lattice or whatever to find your answer. But here, your basic knowledge starts with 1 over 8 million is 125,000. 2 over 8 can be simplified to quarter. 4 over 8 can be simplified to 500,000. The next number that you will need to really know is 5 over 8 million. How much is that? 6 over 8 can be simplified to 3 quarters, 3 over 4. And then you have 7 over 8 million. And then you have 8 over 8. 8 over 8, you know it's the full 1 million. So over here, the challenging numbers are rather, this is your basic number. Then 3 over 8 is kind of special. 5 over 8 is special. 7 over 8 is special. The rest of these fractions can be simplified. So how do you calculate 5 over 8 million? In the same manner you did for 3 over 8 million. So instead of taking 125,000 times 3, 5 over 8 will be 125,000 times 5. 7 over 8 would be 125,000 times 7. So once you know 1 over 8 is 125,000, you can calculate 2 over 8 or 3 over 8 or whatever over 8. Okay, clear? And so now we look at questions. Here, 500,000. Now, there are two ways that I will encourage you to answer. That would be, the first part is using, the first method would be using fraction strips, like what I showed you previously. That means you work straight on your understanding. I know 500,000. It's 500,000. Okay? Because you know your fraction strips, you look at it and you can answer. 3/4 million, 750,000. 2.25 million. You know quarter is 250,000. So you have 2,250,000. 1, 3 over 10. So this is 1 million. 3 over 10 is 300,000. This conversion happens based on our knowledge of fraction strips. Okay? Again, 3 over 8 as what we saw earlier. Okay? 100, if you want to really work it out, you can say 125,000 times 3, and that will end you up with 375,000. And if there was a whole number here, say 3 over 8 million, then this would become 2,375,000. Clear? Now, what is method 2? Now, for those who didn't quite really understand fraction strips, then of course you can use this method as well, which is a direct multiplication. When you have a fraction and you want a fraction of a million, okay? When you have a fraction of a million and you want to convert it to a whole number, you can just directly multiply this fraction with 1 million. And that's what we have been doing. Okay, 1. So how do I take half and multiply with 1 million? It's just like this. So 1 million means 1 million over 1. So when you learn the multiplication of fractions in standard 5, up times up over down times down. So 1 times 1 million is 1 million. 2 times 1 down times down is 2. So what is your answer for 1 million divided by 2? End of the day, you still have to come back to doing a long division, and that will give you 500,000. Okay, clear. What about 3/4 million? The same. Take 3 over 4, multiply with 1 million. And I will just do this example again over 1. 1 million means 1 million over 1. Up times up over down times down. Of course, don't forget, you can actually take 1 million and divide by 4 and times with 3. It's the same thing. Okay, but if you want to make life a little longer, a bit more difficult, yes, take 3 million times, take 3 times with 1 million and you will get 3 million. And then take this 3 million and divide by 4. So up times up. 3 times 1 million is 3 million. And then you divide by 4. Let's do the division. So 3 divided by 4, no, I can't do that. So 30 divided by 4, that would be 7. And I will have 28. Subtract, you'll have a remainder of 2. Bring down the 0. 20 divided by 4 would be 5. And now you have no more remainders. So 1, 2, 3, 4 place values. 1, 2, 3, 4. 750,000. Now, it could be done as also take this 1 million, divide by 4. So 4 divided by 4 becomes 1. 1 million divided by 4. As we know, these are some important divisions that you must memorize. 250,000. 250,000 times 3 is going to still give you 750,000. All this is a method which I think it's pretty long, but you can do it if you want. But you can still use the fractions method to understand what is 3/4 of a million, it's always going to be 750,000. Okay. Now, if 3/4, okay, let's do this now. 2¼ million. So I have 2¼ million, and I want to change it, and I want to find the whole number for it. Now, first of all, I would change this to an improper fraction. Remember, I'm using the multiplication method. If you wanted to use the fractions method, you just look at the diagram and tell the answer straight. But what if you had something like this? Change this to an improper fraction. This exists as a mixed number. So this would now become 2 times 4 plus 1. So that would be 9/4 million. And I told you to times with 1 million when you wanted to change it to a whole number. So you can take off this million part here. So if you wanted to find what is 2¼ million, change it first to an improper fraction and then multiply with 1 million. The same way, you can see that 1 million divided by 4. And if you can cross this out, you will have 250,000. And your answer is going to be 250,000 times 9. Don't forget this. So yeah, do the long or do the multiplication for 250,000. Sorry, there's an extra 0 there. Times 9. Okay, you can do standard written method. So 0, 0, 0, 0. 5 times 9, 45. 4 up, 5 down. 2 times 9, 18. 18 plus 4, 19, 20, 21, 22. So this is your answer. 2 million. This is million. And another 250,000. Now, isn't this much easier? If you could understood just that 1/4 million is 250,000, 2 million remains as 2 million. So you can choose which method you want to use. Okay, so clear? Next question, 1/3/10 million. Now, just for exploration's sake, I can even convert these fractions to a decimal to work with. So what is 3/10? 3/10 is 0.3. So what is 1/3/10? That means it's 1.3 million. And if I want to change it to a whole number, I'll have to multiply by 1 million. So times 1 million. And here I can use the moving decimal method to get to my answer. Now, how many times must I move? I move according to the number of zeros that I have. I have 6 zeros in a million, so I will move my decimal 6 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all this is going to be filled up with zeros. Now I will write the digit again, 1, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So it's 1,300,000. Okay, clear. Finally, 3/8 million. Okay, now if I wanted to do the multiplication method, I will just have to take 3/8 multiply by 1 million, which we have done earlier. So you take 1 million and divide by 8 first, and you will get 125,000. Then take 125,000 and times with 3, and you would get 375,000. This is how you can use the multiplication method to convert fractions of a million to a whole number. So I hope you are able to now achieve this little objective of converting fractions of a million to a whole number using 2 different methods. First would be understanding them as fraction strips. Okay, and find or using the multiplication method. Thank you. Have a good day.